Hello there. So I've been FPVing now for coming up to about a year, and I first started off trying to use a mini DVD screen with basically a cardboard box around it, and I have really had problems with it, and I had to delay that until I got these. These are my Fat Shark Dominators, uh, possibly the single most useful piece of equipment I've used, but also the single most expensive piece of equipment I've bought since getting into modelling. Uh, in the UK, if you bought these now with delivery, you're looking at the best part of £250. And it's not like you can pop to a shop and just try on several pairs of Fat Sharks and see what's good for you. You kind of have to take it on faith that lots of people are saying these are good, give them the try. I'm worried it's stopping people from trying out FPV, or it's very hard to dip your toe in when there's that sort of price. And I had really such a bad experience on the screen that I also worry that people that try that might be put off because the sort of looking down at the screen and looking up at your model, it can really be off-putting. I tend to think you have to commit yourself to one or the other. So this video is about, can we build a decent pair of goggles for a cheap price? And let's find out. Now, I like to make things as easy for myself as I can, and building something from scratch will just be prone to all sorts of problems. Basically, me and DIY doesn't mix very well. So I was relieved to find that flyingwings.co.uk have come up with this piece of EPP foam that you can basically put together and put a little monitor in the back, which saves me the trouble. So I bought one of these, and postage and packing was £3 something, so the price wasn't bad. I then went over to eBay and I found one of these 3.5-inch LCD monitors, which is in full free aspect ratio and 640 by 480, so should be about ideal for fitting in there. And again, this was under £15 delivered, so total spend so far about £28. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. The goggle holder is basically two parts of this EPP, so you're going to need to stick it together. It goes together like this, and you can kind of figure out that you kind of look through that end, monitor the other. The other thing you get is this Fresnel lens. This is for doing your focusing and I guess the magnification as well. The lens attaches to this other bit of EPP that moves forward and backwards by these small handles that attach. And I have to say that the instructions from flyingwings.co.uk are pretty good as well. It tells you how to put it together, gives you some information about what sort of monitor to use, and even an item number where it might pop up on eBay. Okay, well, I've got the Yoo-hoo pour out, and I've gone ahead and stuck the two ends together, which, well, look alright. That's pretty much as you expect from two ends. I've stuck the lens to the lens holder and the little arms on. I did manage to get, as you see there, you get a very thin strip, so I've got a little bit of glue just onto the lens, but I should be able to remove that with just a fingernail to get rid of that bit. So here's a lovely box that came through the post, squished, and looks like it's been sat on, but fortunately the contents look was okay. We get this little monitor here. It comes with this sticky pad which you'd put on the dashboard. Obviously we're going to take that whole stand off. On the cable front you've got, curiously, this little inline fuse on the power port there, and it also comes with this extension so you can solder on whatever connector you like. I'm going to use an XT60. The instructions for this one, pretty brief, don't really have much going on, and nowhere mentions the voltage, but I'm reliably informed by people these will run on a free cell, so hence the XT60. Well, I've just popped the monitor in the back, and what's happened there is it's just a little bit bigger, so it's kind of pushing the end away. So I've just popped some tape in there, and what I'm going to do is just put a bead of hot glue around the monitor, and then perhaps if I've got a gap, I'll put it around there as well, just to make sure everything seals up nicely. Of course, I could just trim some of the ends away, but again, taking a knife to this thing would just end in disaster. I've put that bead of hot glue all around the monitor, and that's holding nicely. I've also gone along the top just to fill that small gap it popped out. Now again,
although we filled the gap, hot glue is translucent, so put it up to the light, we've got a little bit of light coming in there. So I'll have to see if there's something I can basically, well, essentially colour that in with so it stops being translucent and turns opaque on me. Well, I've just temporarily hooked up my little 808 cam to a phono, and I've hooked the screen up to mains. I've got to say, having put the little lens in it, I'm fairly blown away by how good it is. I'll just put a great big piece of dust on it. It is a really good little picture. And yeah, staggering really. Okay, so the important thing, the blue screen test. What I've got here is the RC305 hooked up to my DVR, which I know doesn't blue screen. I've also got the eco goggles plugged in, and I'm filming that with this camera to see if that's going to blue screen. And meanwhile, I've got a little 808 again hooked up to the transmitter. I'm using these rubber ducks because I know I can really induce some rubbish signal there, so all I should have to do is take this on downstairs and get loads of static, and then we'll see what happens to it. Okay, so I fast forward to the very worst of the static, and although it copes with prolonged, when it goes completely static, it does turn off, for instance, and come back, and it's gone again there. And I kind of think, it's not so good, but pure ultra, it's nothing but static. Turning off is not too bad. The fact it copes with static where you can see a bit is good. And again, this is a 15 quid monitor, so I think it's completely flyable with.
Okay, well here's two systems. Here's the eco goggles, complete with the monitor. Here's the dominators. Quite a bit of difference in the size there, so I'm not going to be giving these up. But these things are just going to be great for the passenger. There's a few things still to do here. I've run out of XC60 connectors, so I need to get some. I need to put perhaps some straps around them. If I was going to use them, because I wear glasses, I'd probably cut some bits here, but these are going to be passenger goggles. So perhaps maybe Velcro and the video receiver. I tend to think it might be a bit heavy with a battery here, so we'd use the extended power plug and have perhaps a battery further down and a long cable. So at the moment people can just either shove their heads in and look, or with the strap, they'll be wearing them and looking pretty ridiculous, but you know, that's the price you pay. So I think 28 quid, this is a great deal. And if you're thinking just about maybe trying FPV out, but you're scared of buying expensive goggles, then something like this is a great idea. Anyway, hope that was useful. Bye for now.